Good afternoon, everyone. I request Suresh sir to continue the session.
Am audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, all of you. So I hope everyone is joined. So we'll start with the remaining issues that affect the design analysis. One of the issue we have seen last time is data aggregation. So here, data aggregation and fusion, we have seen that there is redundant data which has been collected from multiple sensors, and that need to be analyzed. So aggregation here basically means analyzing that data, and the fusion means we need to eliminate the unwanted redundant data and fuse the information which are available in each and every sensor sources. So next is data dissemination. So the data and the queries, data which has been transmitted from the source and the queries which has been raised by the destiny are supposed to be routed throughout the network using flooding protocols. Another parameter is database centric and querying. Nodes are volatile since they may get deputed, but data collection should not be interrupted. So it should kept going on. So this happens because of exposure to the more errors due to interference of the signal and devices. Produce data continuously in real time and on the large scale, which require updating of the data frequently. So limited storage and energy scarcity. Because of that, we need to see such that there is continuous real-time data being transmitted. Regarding architecture, so basically, as we know that architecture is nothing but it's a collection of different things like collection of hardware, then protocols, softwares, all together, which are essentially required to make a system perfectly work. So for an architecture to be more flexible and to be more fulfilled, we need to see such that the continuous monitoring of the channels, encoding the data, and transferring of the bits to the radio need to be performed in parallel. So all these activities are to be carried out in parallel, and we need to design an architecture to fulfill this capacity. The sensor events and data calculations must continue to proceed while communication is in progress. Durable and scalable architecture would also allow dynamic changes to be made for the topological with minimum update message being transmitted. Provide TCS control over radio communication timing, decouple the data path speed and radio transmission rate because direct coupling between the processing speed and communication bit rate can lead to suboptimal energy performance. Programming models for sensor networks. Normally, when a user wants to program and at the application layer, when he creates certain programs, he should see such that irrespective of the internal hardware structure, the programmer should be having sufficient uh, capacity and he should be able to have a ease of developing the modules of a program which can be operated with easily and developed easily. So a reactive and event-driven programming model is required. Hello, hello,
ಕುಟ್ಟದು ಸರಿ ಇದೇನು ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ದಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
hello. There was a disturbance. Okay, please mute. So all are requested to mute. Okay. So a reactive and event-driven programming model is required, which helps in writing energy-efficient applications to run for a long time without human interference. So it reduces the runtime errors and complexity, accompanied by runtime mechanism that can achieve bandwidth efficiency where impossible. So some of the operating system models like TinyOS with NECS and TinyGALS with GALS are the popular models used by the researchers in the research area. Middleware is another thing, that is a software. It's a software framework that glues together the different networking parameters, the hardware, operating system, network stacks, and applications that facilitate development, deployment, maintenance, and execution of sensing-based applications. Should also provide new programming paradigm to provide application-specific APIs rather than dealing with low-level specifications. Provide interface to the different types of hardware and network supported by primitive operating system abstractions. Include technique to deliver real-time service by dynamically adopting the environmental changes and providing consistent data. Design of middleware should be transparent, so the quality of service will accordingly be maintained. Also, the quality of service, it's difficult to maintain the quality of service because the network topology may constantly change. Maintaining and re-establishing the path dynamically is a problem in wireless sensor network. As supplied with required amount of bandwidth, if the bandwidth is sufficient enough, then there is no problem. But because of the limited bandwidth, it's very difficult to maintain the quality of service due to the reliability function. Balanced quality of service, constrained uneven traffic, buffer size will increase the delay in packet layering, making it difficult to meet quality of service requirement. Because if you want to have a reliable data to be communicated, sufficient buffer capacity should be present at every node. And as well as the quality of service can only be maintained if you have a support for scalability, that is with increase in number of nodes. Finally, coming to security, there are so many threats in the sensor network which are spoofing and altering the routing informations, passive informations, gathering node of subversion, sinkhole attacks, Sybil attacks, denial of service attack, and jamming. So concurrently, ability to verify that data received was really sent by the trusted sender. Lack of integrity may result in intrusive information. Message reply attack to cause confusion to the network. Secure management is required at the base station level. And clustering techniques. Encryption should be lightweight so that the overhead is minimized. So accordingly, the algorithms need to be developed. So these were certain things, parameters which we have to consider. Now come to the design challenges. So what are the challenges? Based on the parameters what we have seen just now, out of these parameters, some of the challenges we need to attend with in the research area. One is scalable and flexible architecture, as we had earlier discussed. Error-prone wireless medium has to be there to reduce the noise interferences and increase the data rate transmission, as well as reduce the loss of packets. Fault tolerance and adaptability. That is, if there is any fault occurring, we should have a mechanism, a routing protocol in such a way that it should be able to switch over to the next route. Infrastructure. So sometimes if there is a requirement of an infrastructure where all nodes can communicate through a particular higher hierarchy node, then we should be able to have an establishment of infrastructure. Then node deployment is another area of design challenge where we need to see so that node deployment has to be done properly due to the reasons what we have discussed earlier. The sensor nodes and the network should be applicable to real-time applications. Then dynamic changes should be adopted with. Power consumption should be as minimum as possible. The cost of production should be as minimum as possible. Short range transmission to be increased so that power efficiency can be increased of the nodes and the lifetime has to be increased. Hardware design should be a compact, small size, low power consuming. Operating environment should be flexible. Limited computational power and memory size has to be thought of. There should be simplicity of development of algorithms and programs for handling the wireless sensor network. Quality of service has to be maintained for reliable communication. Unattended operations, that is certain operations which are not normally attended by the wireless sensor network should be taken care of. System architecture should have a sufficient and full-fledged system architecture. initial connecting process, that is establishment of the network topology and connectivity among the nodes should be at a faster rate. Secure communication has to be present. Data aggregation has to be maintained. At par with this, to increase the data rate transmission, the data compression techniques are to be thought of at the sensor nodes. And data latency, the amount of time required for communication should be as less as possible. So these are certain challenges which we need to take care of while we are designing any algorithms or protocols or any hardware part of your wireless sensor network. Related with architecture, there are certain issues. That is, architecture, what we are going to develop should be in overall, that is wireless sensor network architecture, should be energy efficient. The topology should be adaptable, that is dynamic. Failure in long range communication, that is normally for long range communication, the wireless sensor network normally fails. So architecture should be designed for long range communications. Increase in traffic, decrease the lifetime. So if traffic increases, the lifetime of the sensor node will decrease. So we should design the architecture in such a way that the lifetime of the sensor node is increased. There are certain issues in the topology as well. So many of the today's sensor applications require networking alternatives that reduce the cost and complexity while improving the overall reliability. So if you want to improve the reliability with reduced cost and complexity, there should be certain measures which you need to take in care of while designing the topology. So these measures are geographic routing, sensor holes, and coverage topology. So geographic routing is nothing but it uses geographic and topological information of the network to achieve optimal routing schemes with high routing efficiency and low power consumptions. Secondly, there are certain sensors within a network where neither these nodes are working or they are not available to take participation in the data transmission part. So such sensor nodes are to be identified within a topology. So sensor holes are to be identified and increase the efficiency of the routing. Third point is coverage topology. Coverage problem reflects how well an area is monitored or tracked by the sensor, whose goal is to determine whether every point in the service area of the sensor network is covered by at least some particular number of sensors. That is, the whole area of wireless sensor network should take care of in such a way that the deployment of the sensors are sufficient enough in a particular area to collect the complete information as required for specific application. Motivation for the development of wireless sensor networks. There are few motivations because of which we think of going for a research in this particular area. One is battery power supply is one reason, which is limited. Then communication capability, it will not be able to go for long range communication. So we should think of that. And the energy storage capacity are limited. So these three things related with the sensor nodes, because the sensor node relies on these, we are supposed to design the sensor nodes accordingly. So this makes us to motivate to go for a research in certain areas of wireless sensor network to improve these parameters. Primary design objectives for wireless sensor network is how to utilize the energy of nodes efficiently. This is the main thing what we need to think of. How to balance the network energy consumption and how to extend the network lifetime. So these are the primary mottos for the design of a wireless sensor network. So we'll see now what are the enabling technologies in the current research areas. So enabling technology, hardware and related with the software. Hardware, we have the hardware. We have to reduce the cost reduction. We have to develop sensors which are smaller in size, that is tiny sensors. Lifetime maximization, that is recharge batteries from ambient light energy, that is light, vibrations, etc. So we have to design the batteries in such a way that the life of the sensor node is increased. Robustness and fault tolerance. So the microcontrollers which you are going to use should be simple, of small size and small size of the battery. So accordingly, they will be robust, and we should see so that they are fault tolerance. And at last, the sensors should be self-configured to the desired topology and localization. Regarding softwares, we need to think of the operating systems which can efficiently work out with the wireless sensor network. Then second thing is we have to go for the softwares which can have good security of the network, and we should see certain protocols wherein we have a mobility of the nodes for reducing the range and hence the increasing the lifetime by consuming less power. Current research issues. So we talk about what are the areas or the issues currently undertaken for wireless sensor network. One is energy management, as we earlier seen. Energy awareness at all layers of networking protocol, particularly and linked layers. That is data layers. Dynamic voltage scaling, radio communication hardware, low duty cycle issues, system partitioning, energy aware MAC protocol. These are the things which need to be designed properly, and the energy can be managed accordingly at all the layers of the architecture of the wireless sensor. Localization is another current research area, that is determining the location of the sensor, which is used to detect and record the events or to route the packets using geometric aware routing. Allow some nodes called seeds to have their location information at all times, and allow other nodes to infer their locations by exchanging information with the seeds instead of using GPS. So in order to identify the location of the individual nodes after deployment, they should have the capacity to localize themselves by using certain protocols, routing protocols, or by using certain seed nodes, that is beacons, you can say rather, instead of going for GPS, because GPS, that is global positioning system, is built to reduce the cost and the complexity for localization. We need to use either the seeds, or we should design the routing protocols to identify the location. Another area routing from or to moving nodes is more challenging. This is because route stability becomes an important optimization factor in addition to energy bandwidth. Efforts are being made to design routing protocols for wireless sensor network which are energy efficient. So again, here the main motto of routing protocols at network layer is to take care of energy of the sensor nodes. Then deployment techniques. Again, we know that while deploying the nodes, there is a loss of failure. Failure of nodes is possibility, loss of power, also the one of the possibility, as well as the nodes may not be able to fully cooperate for sending the complete data information. So we need to see so that large number of sensor nodes are densely deployed and the position of sensor nodes need to be predetermined. This allows random deployment in inaccessible terrains or hazardous environments. So these are certain areas of challenges. Now coming to protocols in wireless sensor networks. So basically, again, designing the protocols at different layer, more particularly at layer and the routing protocols at the network layer are the most important protocols in order to have efficient, deploy efficient wireless sensor. This allows deciding how and when to receive and transmit, route and process the information on every device available to perform any task. These protocols differ from conventional computer communication network in the particular way. Here, wireless sensor network nodes are densely employed, and so here in and randomly deployed in wireless network, whereas this is not the case in normal computer network. So we need to design protocols which will take care of this. Wireless networks are dynamic in nature, whereas computer networks are static in nature. So in dynamic nature of wireless networks, failure of one node can change the entire topology. So wireless sensor need to be self-configurable whenever there is need of change in topology, which is not the case in normal computer. Computer networks have IP addresses for their global identity, whereas wireless sensor networks have no global identification because it creates a large overhead. So global addressing like IP address has to be avoided to reduce the overheads, and we need to have an access to the nodes MAC access. Wireless sensor networks have limited resources, so the wireless sensor network protocol stack needs to be energy because the resources are very rare. So as we are well aware that the protocol stacks have been categorized to different layers of the wireless sensor network. That is physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, and application layer. Among these, more importantly, the protocols which we need to design separately for wireless sensor network is related with data link layer and the. So in data link layer, we have logical link control and medium access control. The function of logical link control is, as we know, is for link management. And so this thing is normally the way we go for normal computer networks. Whereas medium access control, here we are assembling the data into frames and for disseminating frames to retrieve the information. So this is the main function of media access control, and we need to design separate protocols for wireless sensor network for media access control. Apart from data link layer, we have protocol network layer for routing purpose. So efficient routing protocols is required to choose a path with minimum cost of delay, with maximum lifetime, and with maximum energy and least energy consuming protocols are to be developed. So or any other parameters relevant to this application. So these protocols again are something different for wireless sensor network because of the nature of the network. Sometimes, because we know that energy is one of the most important parameters in wireless sensor network because of the limited resources. The energy at the physical layer, because energy is a parameter of the physical layer, and routing is the parameter for at the network layer. And we need to design the routing protocol for energy efficiency. So if you want to design a routing protocol for energy efficiency, then one should know the energy levels of the sensor nodes which are available at the physical layer or physical layer. So we need to design a cross-layer approach. So in cross-layer approach, the energy of individual nodes of has to be identified by the network. So there should be a protocol cross-linking these energy levels of the nodes from physical layer to network. The protocol designs at the will care of the energy and those sensors which are energy efficient for communication, and you chooses that particular routing. So now when we talk about the MAC layer, what are the different performance requirements? So there are four things which we have to think of. One is throughput, scalability, latency, and number of hops. So performance requirement for wireless layer while designing MAC layer protocol, these things are to be thought of. Right? Throughput is nothing but protocol efficiency. What we measure is by the throughput. In the case of wireless link, it may be related to the capacity, you can say, capacity of the wireless link. Scalability, that is increasing the network size by increasing the number of nodes. It should be adaptable to that particular thing, and we accordingly say one of the requirement is scalability. Latency is nothing but the amount of time consumed from source to the destination. We should see so that the MAC protocols are designed with reduced delay. Number of hops. That is operation of the MAC protocol varies between single hop and multi-hop scenarios. In the case of multi-hops, taken to reach the sink, data needs to be aggregated before sending it to the sink, because while going through the multiple hops, the redundancy of data is quite large. So aggregation has to be done. That is, the data has to be analyzed before it is delivered to the sink. These are some of the MAC protocols, that is sensor MAC, TMAC, BMAC, PWMAC, PDA MAC. These are all battery powered and energy harvesting, that is energy efficient MAC protocols are processing, polling, and so here these parameters like what we have discussed just now, latency, throughput, energy consumption for these different MAC layers are being provided. If you just look at every MAC protocol has been designed for a specific need. Like if you say SMAC, it is designed for latency and scalability, more particular. If you go for TMAC, it is designed for conservation, so that we can have better conservation. If you go for BWMAC, it is the one where we have higher throughput, we have higher energy consumption, we have higher scalability, and so on. So this is the one which is most popularly used these days, because it covers almost requirement protocols. Coming to network layer protocols. So these are few protocols which have been listed for popularly used these days. That is protocols for flooding, broadcasting, and protocols for gossiping. That is, flooding is a technique where the data is communicated to all the nodes within the vicinity of radio range. And gossiping is nothing but transmitting the data to a selected. So these two, and these are the main areas. So accordingly, the protocols are to be designed, so that the protocols which have been designed are sent for information by that is PIN, which is used for broadcast the metadata of data and receiver request if required. So in this case, the receiver request for transmitting the data, and if only if requested by the receiver, the transmitter will send the data. Direct diffusion is another type of network layer protocol for routing purpose, which has cache. That is, whenever it transmits certain data, it is also captured in the cache for future usage. Low energy cluster hierarchy, that is leech, is a hierarchical cluster based protocol. Another leech protocol there is spare management. That is, it has spare nodes which are in sleep mode and will be activated only when they are required. So these are most popular protocols which are being used nowadays. We can classify the routing protocols depending on categories. That is based on discovery, then network structure, and protocol operation. So here I just read out that on route discovery based, reactive and proactive and hybrid protocols. Reactive protocols are nothing but on-demand protocols. This ODA and DSR. Proactive are nothing but table-driven protocols, that is OLSR, and the combination of these two, taking advantages of both, the type of is being developed as a hybrid protocol. So based on the network structure, we can classify them into flat routing, hierarchical routing, and location-based routing. So here in flat routing, we have spin and direct diffusion. So these are the node routing. We have leech to hierarchical, that all leech and Pegasus and TTDD. So these are heterogeneous networks used for the cluster purpose. And location-based routing, that is GEAR and SPSR, locate their present location. These are used for localization. So depending on the network structure, accordingly, the protocols will be developed. Here, protocol operation, based on the operation, that is negotiating low redundant data, that is spin routing used for spin type of protocol. Then multi-path network routing, that is DD, that is different. That routing, this is vision. Is DD and data centric routing that are receiver initiated. That is only when there is a query raised, the data is communicated. Quality of service routing. So these are dependent on the quality to be maintained, like throughput, data delivery, energy, and delay. They are TBP and speed. Coherent based routing, again, DD is a coherent based routing where minimum processing time is required. Then finally, aggregation is another type of routing protocol, that is data mules and CTCC cap is protocol which is categorized in protocol. These are the different protocols which are being used. They can also be classified in this particular category. Like node-centric routing protocol, Leech is an example of that. So node-centric routing protocols are nothing but destination node is specified with some numerical identifiers, and based on that, the protocols are being designed. Then data-centric routing protocol, that is SPIN. This is on the transmission of information specified by certain attributes. So depending upon what attribute of the data I need to use, accordingly, the routing protocols will be designed and the data is being designated. Source initiated routing protocol, SPIN is an example of it. So here, this routing protocol is initiated by the source, established by the source, whereas routing protocols like DD, which fall under this category, which are based on destination initiation, that is, destiny decides what should be the routing. So routing challenges wireless sensor network. The design constraints of routing protocols are network scale, dynamics of node, resource, nature of node, and quality of service. So these are certain parameters based on which the routing protocols are to be designed. Other challenges are node deployments, that is deployment is deterministic or randomized, that is structured or unstructured. Energy consideration. So a reroute packet has to be done based on the failure of the particular node due to lack of energy. Data delivery model, whether it's a time or event or query driven, which is supposed to be converted. Rerouting the packets to regions with tolerable energy. Transmission media, through which media you're going to use, the protocols are accordingly designed. Connectivity depends on the random distribution of nodes, variable network topology, and size shaping. Coverage, sensor view of the environment is limited to both range and accuracy. And data aggregation and quality of service based routing parameters are there, certain parameters, that is different services required different service parameters. So depending on services, like say for multimedia service, say for bandwidth, jitter, and delay are the parameters which we need to take care of. Emergency services, network reliability we should take care of. Communication, battery has to be taken care of. Communication, battery life has to be taken care of. So among the most important parameters for design of any, as far as quality of service is concerned, we have the parameters like bandwidth, jitter, battery charge, and processing power. And challenges in wireless systems. So there are certain operating systems which are more commonly used. System. Then Tiny OS. So Tiny OS is the first operating system and is most commonly used. Then Light OS, then Contiki, then Riot, and then Prion VM. These are the operating systems which are commonly used in wireless system network. Programming approaches. We have different programming approaches, that is programming languages, which languages we normally use. Normally, NEC, C, and Tiny OS are the most common programming languages we use, and these are developed in C, C++. Programming abstractions, that is high level supported by programming model compilers and runtime support. Liberate the program from having to address the low level wireless sensor network mechanisms such as messaging and routing protocols. Middleware approaches are nothing but support the development, maintenance, and deployment and execution of applications. So filling the gap between the application layer and the hardware application and network stack. So accordingly, these will be classified into categories. Nodes
Yeah, as
and
we
programming abstraction, node centric, that is local behavior, global.
discuss it गावाला
Please
लागून
mute,
असतात.
please mute it. And the second one is macro programming, that is global behavior. And the middleware approaches for programming are virtual machine based, databases, event based, application driven based, component based, tuple space based, tuple channels, and mobile agents. The standards which are used here are three standards most commonly used, predominant standards commonly used in wireless sensor network communication. One is IEEE 802.15b. This transmits the data over long distance by passing data through intermediate device, which uses multi-hop to reach it. So accordingly, the range of communication is increased. So this is one of the standard which is used in WSN. Another standard is IEEE 802.15.1, that is a Bluetooth standard, which is a wireless technology standard for exchanging data over short distance from fixed and mobile devices by creating PANs, that is personal area networks. Another is low power wireless PAN, personal area network. So that is defined encapsulation and header compression mechanism that allow IPv6 packets to be sent and received from IEEE 802.15.4 based networks. So this is the most popular standard among the three standards which is being used nowadays for the wireless sensor network. So challenges regarding the programming, incorporation of Java. So Java may be one of the most required language for more powerful modes such as iMode 2 from Crossbar has an Intel PX 82732-bit X-scale processor at 416 megahertz, 256 KB of SRAM, 32 MB of RAM, and 32 MB of flash memory. This is the recent advancement in the processors used for the mode, and the Java is incorporated as a language for processing this particular processor. Then efficient support of programming abstractions. So programming abstractions are nothing but programming models which have been developed so that it will be convenient for the end user to develop the programming models very conveniently. And reprogramming, certain programming techniques need to be used in such a way that if you want to reprogram as and when required, depending on the change in the network topology, it should be practically possible. Next is the heterogeneity. Yeah, the programs which you're going to use should be designed considering the heterogeneity of the network. So there are types of heterogeneities. That is computational heterogeneity, where some nodes have added computational power. Link heterogeneity, where some nodes have long distance, highly reliable communication links. Energy heterogeneity, where nodes have unlimited energy. So that means we have different nodes with different capacities. Some may be suitable for computational heterogeneity, some may be suitable for linkages, some may be suitable for energy efficiency. So all these different nodes, when are supposed to cooperate with respect to each other, the programs and the programming modules are to be accordingly designed. Research areas in wireless sensor network, just I'm going to broadly tell you which are the areas where you can work out now in the wireless sensor network. A novel distributed clustering protocols for wireless sensor. So you can design clustering protocol, which is one of the research area where you can have large scope. Secondly, ability of nodes to maintain membership in auxiliary cluster can reinforce the current state of sensor network reliability. So to improve the reliability within a cluster network, all the sensor network should be interconnected and should cooperate within that cluster. So how that can be possible, that is one of the research area. Invent new network protocols that account for communication realities of real world environments. Test the individual solution on platforms in real set. Synthesize no solutions into a system stack. Complete system wide prototype for a real application. And next is measure and access about how the therapy exhibited in properties of wireless communication are today's communication devices. External communication realities to provide feedback, better models of contact for improved simulation tools. So here we can use NS3, that is network as well as wireless sensor network C++, and certain interfacing is being done using the Python. So this is one of the best platform for simulation of the wireless sensor network. Next, secure wireless communication links against eavesdropping, tampering, traffic analysis, and denial of services. So there are certain security threats which need to be taken care of. And for that, we have to develop wireless communication links. And we need to develop the protocols accordingly. Cost-effective identification and maintenance of redundant routing paths in presence of regular sleeping nodes. Then real-time industrial application does the study of latency guarantees for heterogeneous traffic. So this is one of the present requirement. Types of neural network topologies and training algorithms which would be compatible with wireless sensor network, more capable platform in the terms of lower computation time and power consumption. So we can use neural network topologies in wireless sensor networks for reduced power consumption and lower computation. And we can improve the efficiency of the wireless sensor network. Most of the projects in early stage focus on developing algorithms, focus on and components for wireless sensor network, which might later serve as a foundation for middleware. Moreover, most of the current results are based on situations of small scale laboratory settings. The suitability for large scale networks still has to be proven. First, concrete experiment show that even simple protocols and algorithms can exhibit surprising complexity and the scale. After all, there is still a long way to go slow wireless sensor network middleware, both in terms of design concepts and the system implications. Although a topic for some years, many problems are not solved. Scalability, robustness, self-organization, and heterogeneity, other areas which can be covered. Communication protocols for wireless sensor network should be energy efficient to avoid useless wasting of energy resource through minimization of the control and transmission overhead. Reliability, differentiation to support different reliability rates in order to suit the requirement of different applications, throughput, latency, and energy consumption. Building adaptive wireless sensor network applications through reprogramming is a good area, it is a fantastic area. Wireless sensor network not only can embed intelligence into environment, but also have embedded intelligence by reprogramming themselves to dynamic environments. There are lots of open problems that need further investigation to make reprogramming highly usable and efficient. So reprogramming may be required most of the time when scalability changes or topology changes. Code dissemination is a continuous focusing of current research. However, design trade-offs and impact factors have not been fully understood yet. Approaches to solving the broadcast term problem and need further study to improve the system performance by reducing control overheads. There has been little research on scope selection, complete validation, and code acquisition functions. Design and implementation of energy efficient routing and one-to-one many communication protocols via wireless sensor network are still evolving. For particular use, security measure in reprogramming need to be considered. So these are certain areas where you can think of development on different parameters, what we have discussed till now. Just I will highlight some recent advancement which has been done. So military situation awareness, battlefield surveillance, sensing, infrared detection of enemy units, then industrial and commercial monitoring and control of industrial equipment, manufacturing monitoring. Then topology and coverage control, prolonged lifetime, reducing radio interference, increasing the efficiency, graph models of topology control, These are the applications which are being used here. Underwater acoustic sensor system. This is again an emerging area. Oceanographic data collection, pollution monitoring, disaster prevention, assisted navigation, and tactical surveillance. Quality of service provisions, trade-off between reliability and energy consumption, delay energy consumption, and delay. These are the areas of application where quality of service can be maintained. So apart from that, security and privacy concerns are there. Biomedical. So again, in biomedical, code blue, which is a medical emergency for patients, like all of a sudden, if these code blue sensors are connected to the body of the patient, and if all of a sudden there is a cardiac arrest or any other problem with the patient, it can be immediately intimated by these sensors. Then we have other sensors in medical usage like AlarmNet. This assists in monitoring the different parameters of a human being all the time, and accordingly give the feedback. There is another called as AMON, which monitors the pulse, oxygen saturation, etc. GlucoWatch, which is going to monitor the sugar level of the patient. So that way, different sensor networks can be used for these applications. Then cognitive sensing is one area, then spectrum management, then coordination in heterogeneous network, that is again another area. Sensing based cyber physical systems, then time critical applications, experimental systems and new applications are wireless sensor network for oil and gas, monitoring wildlife passage, fire hazard monitoring, wireless multimedia sensor networks. This is again one of the emerging area. Then smart home, smart offices, that is IoT's Internet of Things can be used here, provides custom behavior according to the custom requirement. It can be designed based on the artificial intelligence and so forth. So the second session, because of the time constraint, it was a bit fast. If you have any queries, let me see some of the chat.
Unmuted.
I will just attend to some chats, and remaining chats you can just mail me on my mail ID. So there is one of the chart stating the date regarding data fusion and aggregation. So I would like to tell that data aggregation is nothing but collecting the redundant data, analyzing the data, and eliminating unwanted things to increase the efficiency of the data and eliminate the redundancy is nothing but data aggregation. Whereas data fusion is nothing but collecting the same similar information from multiple sources, combining them and accommodating all the informations which are available in all the sources and eliminating the redundant data. So naturally, the data which has been obtained after data fusion will be higher than the one which has been collected from a particular source and has complete information based on the information collected from all the sources. So this is the basic difference between data fusion and data aggregation. And nowadays, certain algorithms have been developed based on artificial intelligence, then neural network, and also fuzzy logic is being used here to develop these algorithms for data aggregation and data fusion. So this more is
yes, sir.
required. Pardon?
Sir, myself, Sahana Salgare from KS Engineering College, Bangalore. I'm doing my research on underwater wireless communication.
Which
Hello?
combination? Hello?
Underwater communication.
Underwater.
Hello?
Okay, speak out. Hello?
Just my research area is underwater communication itself. So
Okay.
I'm addressing the problem of energy consumption of underwater wireless sensor node.
That's right. Hello?
Hello, sir.
You can do one thing, ma'am. You can mail me because
Yes.
voice is not that audible.
Okay.
I will reply to your mail. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Its voice is not audible. Also, there is a time constraint from the organizers. Okay. So those who want to get any information, I will just go through the chats and you can mail me. I will communicate you all on. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all for patiently listening to my session. And also I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to speak. I could not satisfy you probably because of the short of the session. I was supposed to continue for 2 hours, but I was requested because of some time constraint. Anyhow, those who have any queries, 100% I will attend to those queries. I will mail it on. Okay.
Okay,
I once
sir.
again thank you, Malena.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. It was a very knowledgeful session. Thank you very much and accepting our invitation.
Can
Now,
you share your email?
Thank you, ma'am.
sorry.
Can you share your email?
Yes.
I will share. I will share. Okay, I'll share.
Yes, sir. Sir will share the email ID. Now valedictory functions will begin. I request Professor Shubhangi DC, Professor and Program Coordinator, Department of ENC, CSC, VTU CPJS Kalburgi, to continue the valedictory function.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Dr. Shubhangi DC, Program Coordinator of ANC and CSC of VTU PG Center Kalburgi. So it is my great pleasure for me to welcome you all once again on the occasion of the valedictory function of the Faculty Development Program on Contemporary Research Trends in Electronics and Communications and Computer Science from 6th to 10th July 2020. I am quite convinced that for the last 5 days you all have been able to explore all the concepts for the benefit. Faculty development programs have proved to be successful for improving the knowledge and skills. Let me give the brief report on the FDP. The total number of participants registered for the FDP is 1067 from 15 states and from 3 foreign countries. The FDP started with the inauguration by Professor Baswaraj Gadge, Regional Director of VTU PG Center Kalburgi. The first technical session of the first day was by the expert Dr. Manipuram Mahato from National Institute of Technology Patna, who delivered the knowledge on high power microwaves, and the second session was handled by the speaker Dr. Vishwanath K from SIT Tumkur on the topic text extraction of the images. The day 2, the resource person Dr. Ajit Kumar Panda from National Institute of Science and Technology, Behrampur, Odisha. Sir has given an overview on the 5G communications and its applications. The day 3, the first session was handled by the Dr. Prashant Kumar Sahu from Indian Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar, covering the topic Optical Communication Technology, Challenges and Possibilities. The second session of the same day was handled by the R. Ravindra from CR Engineering College, Tirupati, overviewing the topic of image processing and its applications. The day 4's first session was handled by Dr. Sanjeev Bonde from HGGS Institute of Engineering and Technology, Nanded, Maharashtra. Sir has covered the knowledge regarding the orthogonal transform and its generalized approach. And the second session was continued by the speaker Dr. Ravi Kumar Madila from MNIT Jaipur, Rajasthan on the topic Research Trends in Visible Light Communications. The today's session was handled by Dr. Suresh Halladi. Sir is my guru and my teacher from MS Bidway Engineering College. Sir, I wholeheartedly thanking you by exploring the current overview on the recent issues in the wireless sensor networks. I express my sincere gratitude to all the resource persons for accepting our invitations and sharing the knowledge as a research point of view. I would also like to thank all the participants for being with us for all the days from morning 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. I believe that the knowledge you received here will be worth the time you all have spared with us. I wholeheartedly thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor VTU Belgavi, Professor Kari Siddhappa sir, Honorable Registrar Dr. A.S. Deshpande sir, Registrar Evaluation Dr. Satish Annigiri sir, Finance Officer Srimati M.A. Sapna Madam, Regional Director Dr. Baswaraj Gadge sir, and Chairperson of EC from VTU Belgavi, Professor Tanuja Madam, for their continuous support and encouragement. A special thanks to Professor Sanjay Gaure, Dean of BKIT Bhalki, for advising us in organizing the faculty development programs. All the sessions of the FDP have been uploaded in the YouTube by the name Amrish Bhadrashetty. Kindly, I request all users, you can subscribe the same in the future for the future reference. Last but not least, I wholeheartedly thank especially our strong technical team headed by Dr. Babu Reddy sir, Professor Amrish Bhadrasetti and Sudhir uncle, and all the organizing members Viresh Pujari, Baswaraj Patil, Samprati, Pallavi Patil, Uday Kumar, and everyone who have supported directly or indirectly and made this FTP as a grand success. The e-certificates and FDP course material will be shared with everyone within 2 days. Thank you one and all.
Officer Kalburgi, and this entire program was coordinated by the VTO regional office in association with all the program coordinates and the team members. Around 15 members have worked day and night to make this happen in a grand way. There may be some hiccups, and I would like you to comment on them with us, so in future we will try to correct, and we are planning to have many more such events in future, and I expect the same cooperation from you. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir.